right, a very good morning to you and you're welcome to the program. And this is Good Morning Ghana, the 3rd of June 2024. We are now halfway through the year. We thank the Almighty for giving us this opportunity to go through with all of you. And let's hope that we get to the end of the year. Let's go through the headlines of the newspapers. I'll start off with the Daily Graphic, and it says NHIS offers free dialysis for patients. Graphic recapitalization will be transparent. Information Minister. Assemblies of God unveils ethics code of conduct for pastors. Garmanche leads homo cleanup. Ghanaian Times. Free dialysis session for persons below 18, above 60. Effective June to December 2024. NHIA. Come back home to support development. Ochehine, Garmanche leads massive support cleanup campaign in Accra. Electricity goes up by 3.45%, water 5.16%, effective July 1. Delegate. Ghana AFDB signed $103 million grant agreement. One stopped in Kaswa, NDC, NPP clash. Comeback support development Ochehine. Comeback support development Ochehine. Auto forcing Jakpa application frivolous. AG. The insights. GMO will collapse Ghana's economy. Soya Value Chain Association warns Ghana. The controversial development of Adasongo Lagoon investment or invasion? Good question. Akufo-Addo running most corrupt government since 1992, says ex-director Ghana School of Law. Nungwa elders indigents carry maize from Oyibi to Nungwa on foot to market Belejo Festival. The Herald. MTN's 15% 4G rollout in 10 years reviewed. Government's 5G strategy sparks debate amid companies' selective deployment. Justice Kolindi faces subpoena in Damit's coaching business. Controversial British ambassador to Ghana sacked for pointing gun at staff. Tolls needed to fund road infrastructure, says Baumia on Volta Region campaign. Mahama pokes Akufo-Addo over one Okada rider, one car fiasco. The Informer, fourth industrial revolution, Ghana can't miss out, Baumia. Boosting Okada business, Mahama promises electric motorbikes. Auto forcing ambulance trial, judge won't be swayed by public opinion, lawyer. International Day of Nurses Midwives Serene Insurance marks day with UGMC. Homo cleanup exercise. Zoom Lion gives massive support. The top right corner in the Informer in this issue, it says Aye as EC exceeds target by 100K over 12K registrants under registration. The Inquisitor. Suspicious petition against SP. Presidency smells badly. Garmanche leads homework cleanup. From NHIA with love, all 8 dialysis sessions free for under 18, over 60 patients. Suhum MP, others in trouble for sabotaging MPP. CAF CEO sues accuser. Delhi Statesman. Ochehine charges the privilege to support their roots. 52 million Ghana cedis for students' loans. Nooks commends government for release. Homo cleanup campaign underway. Free dialysis for vulnerable groups. The Delhi Searchlight. Government ready for Chinese investment in optimizing green mineral development, Lands Minister. Keeping Ghana African funds in foreign banks wrong, Amin Adam. Nana Kweku Jabin, the second retained as legitimate chief of Wasa Ateku after 8 years of legal battle. Cocoa Board closes 2023-2024 main crop cocoa season. Violence at Kaswa EC. Hawa Kumsin's son, 3 others injured. The Ghanaian publisher. Ambulance trial. AG tells court to dismiss accused persons' applications. Majority exposes minorities' hypocrisy. Ochehini woos elites to return home. Ghana ranked 5th best governed country in Africa. The Metro Lens. Embrace your roots and support development. Ochehini urges. Free dialysis treatment at last for children under 18 and ages above 60. Kaswa NDC PC arrested for entering EC office with gun, sparking violence. Kofata bills states of the RICT for Ayurebi SHS. The new finder. BOG post 10.5 billion Ghana cedis loss in 2023 due to mop-up exercise liquidity to reduce inflation. Electricity water tariffs increase effective July 1. China retains position as largest source of Ghana's imports in 2023. We also have Mahama promises higher purchase electric motorbikes for Okada riders. The custodian. Mahama unveils Okada policy again. All pupils to receive Ghana card numbers, Baumia. Majority exposes NDC over tax waivers. World Bank approves $250 million for Ghana. Government leads homework cleanup drive in Accra. Daily Post. Ignore the EC. Continue to be at all their district offices. NDC instructs its agents. Mahama cements promise to legalize Okada business and laws to guarantee safety. How Akumsin's son allegedly stabbed in retaliatory act of violence. Garmanche leads charge in massive homework cleanup drive to revitalize Accra. And that's what we have for you this morning. For the headlines, let's go for a beat. We'll be back. All right, welcome back to the program, and it's Good Morning Ghana. I am pleased to introduce lawyer Nana Oye Bampo Ado, and she is a member of the NDC. Has been a while. Thank you for coming. Welcome.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning,
Annie. How are you doing?
It's been
great.
Fighting for God and country.
For God and country.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So we're expecting Lara Timusa Saka, who is also the Deputy Executive Secretary for the Postal Courier Services Regulatory Commission. As and when she joins us, I definitely will introduce her. But in the meantime, let me just remind you that if you're desperate of getting a toothpaste that will take care of the family and have save money as well, I recommend the Kel 360 toothpaste that is approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. Kel 360 toothpaste provides your family with all-round dental protection throughout the day with freshness. And also Kel 360 toothpaste is good for the kids, it's good for children, it's good for adults as well. So let your family be proud and spend some little money on Kel 360 toothpaste. Remember that there's Kel kits. If you want to buy for kids alone, you have Kel kits toothpaste for them. But this one is 360, can cater for everybody in the family. It brightens your teeth and prevents cavity. And with a cool mint, it gives you fresh breath throughout the day and also protects the gum from decaying. Also, consistency in quality. Use Kel 360 toothpaste. It's a product from Samara Company Limited and available on all supermarkets, malls, and provision shops. Call Samara Company on 024-686-4798. Kel 360 toothpaste, happy smile. Also, lift and elevators is available on the market. If you want to enjoy the labor of your labor, the fruit of your labor, it's important that enjoying the mansions of your labor will depend on the lift and elevators as they are available on the market to provide you some, lifts in your home, and it also can lift your goods. Lift and elevators comes with portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, and you can call for it and it will be installed in a matter of 3 days. They will do a customized one for you. Visit Lift and Elevators at Sakumono or call them on 0200-535-515 or email them on elevators@gmail.com for consultations and best solutions, right? So, let me just go to Lawyer Nanoye. I know you have been busy with your 2024 election manifesto.
Yes.
Give me a scoop.
A scoop. You'll get a scoop when the manifesto is launched.
But how is it being done?
It's going well. Very broad participation. We have met quite a number of stakeholders across all sectors. Yeah. We have about 22 committees working on the various sectors.
Wow.
And we have received memoranda also from the general public. And we have received some stakeholders in person. And, you know, our flag bearer, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, also went around Ghana and got a lot of proposals from Ghanaians. And he has also led the stakeholder engagement and has met with quite a number of stakeholders, the TUC, Organized Labour, cocoa farmers, AGI, and most recently with Okada drivers from across Ghana, about 1,300 Okada drivers at Ashiama, which went very well, where he reiterated the promise that the NDC, when Ghanaians vote us into power, we would legalize Okada. Beyond that, actually create a legal framework to ensure that Okada drivers can operate. So looking at insurance issues, because now, because of the law, they cannot be insured. So looking at that, and also looking at the safety. So he also promised them that there would be training of Okada drivers in all the regions. There would be training by the licensing school and trainers, and they were very happy about that and would ensure that they are in their helmets and in their highlighters. Yeah. He also congratulated them for the fact that due to their work, it's actually somewhat reduced the unemployment, because quite a number of them, about maybe 1 million or so, there are quite a number of Okada drivers. So it was a very, very good interaction with Okada drivers. They also expressed their concerns, intimidation by the police, which His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said he would also look at.
I think he will be careful how he describes the relationship between Okada riders and the police, because if you check the Road Safety Authority statistics, it's really nothing good to write home about. The Okada riders are really, really causing a lot of chaos on the road. If you check the laws of road safety, they are even not supposed to be riding in the medians, like when the cars are on the road. Motor riders are not supposed to be in the middle, but even police motor riders do it. So there are a lot of laws you can tell that we're breaching as far as motor riding in this country is concerned. Therefore, if he really means this Okada promise, he has a lot of work to do, and I'm hoping that the legal framework that you're talking about will capture or will take the nitty-gritty consideration of all these things I'm mentioning and basically solve them before we can have a sane environment as far as the motor riding business is concerned. Yes,
that's why I mentioned that one of the key priorities is to review the legal framework. And also another key priority is to ensure safety of the Okada riders and also the road users, and improve the relationship between the police and Okada riders. So these are three. And even he also promised the electronic motorbikes, which will be assembled in Ghana. we're going to look at all this, especially safety of Okada riders and road users, and also reviewing the legal framework. So His Excellency is mindful of all the challenges and spoke to them realistically about that, and mentioned all these factors. So, yes.
Right. Let me take this opportunity to also welcome the Deputy Executive Secretary for the Postal Courier Services Regulatory Commission, and also a member of the NPP Communications team, Lara Saka. Lara, you're welcome. Good morning to you.
Morning,
and how are you?
good.
I like the brightness.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. Once you have life.
You have everything.
I almost
You
wore
too,
yellow,
bright,
actually.
bright.
You should have. Oh,
Yeah, I should have worn
you didn't pay
yellow.
attention to the, what do you call it? When you think alike.
Yeah.
What do you call it? There's a word we use for it.
Yes.
Oh, I've forgotten that word. I use it a lot. Anyway, you're welcome.
You use it a lot and you can't remember. Thank you, honey.
I can't remember. It's possible, is it not?
Yeah, it's possible.
Might slip.
It is possible.
Anyway, so I was talking about the, going around and doing election campaigns and the talks
Yes.
and meeting the various stakeholders and all. I think Dr. Bawumia is also doing the same
Yes.
thing. And the recent one that he has also talked about is the tolls,
Yes.
using the toll revenue from the toll booths to boost the economy. And we all know what's going on. In fact, I don't know what's going on with tolls, because I use motorway a lot. That's what I use to the house. And every time then reality hits me that, so like joke, the tolls are gone.
But Annie, if you, good morning to our viewers. If you remember when there was all the talk about the state of the motorway and the conversation went on, there's some work that is being done on the motorway. And one of the things that came out strongly was all these roads will be tolled after they've been redeveloped, so that the income that comes from that tolls can be used to maintain the roads. If you realize, one of the challenges is not necessarily about constructing the roads per se, but how to maintain them over the years. And that has been one. So if there's a road constructor, even when you leave into other jurisdictions, most of the roads tolled, the income for it. So you have a choice of using a road that is not tolled as against a road that is tolled, and all those things, the bridges and all that are used to do it. But Dr. Bawumia has been around 9, before he even started the regional tour. He met quite a number of stakeholders within the space, went around 9 regions, took a break, went to the US for the 30th anniversary of NPP USA, came back, has done Volta region, has done OT. Yesterday and today, he'll be in the central region. And he's moving with the bold solutions that he puts forward to all of us at UPSA. And fundamentally, one of the things that comes out strongly is the fact that, infrastructure will be built, schools will be built, hospitals will be built. Those ones are basic responsibilities of any government. But the policies that will make impact, that will make the taxes that we pay, the contributions that we make to make us also feel that we are part of this nation is what you look at. So when you take education like this, one of the key things coming out now is the free tertiary education for the disabled, and also the fact that we are further going to enhance free SHS, which obviously has made its own impact, irrespective of the challenges of such a new and widely implemented policy. The other bit too is about our transportation, fuel issues and all that. And one of the things that comes up strongly is the bringing in of electronic vehicles and also looking at ways to cut down on it. Because one of the things affecting the economy most is oil and its related things. So when you have these EV vehicles and all that, and about 100 of them will be brought in to be piloted, so we build on them. Digitalization as a mode of cutting down on corruption and all other related issues. If you've been following national service, if you remember, even if you use national service and SNITs, when they used the Ghana card and all that, it saved the nation over 700 million a year. So all these fundamental things, in addition to the infrastructure, in addition to all that is happening, there are those that is, and he has a well-planned tour. So when he gets into a region, all the stakeholders are touched. So he meets the clergy, he meets imams, he meets the chiefs and queen mothers, goes to the markets, interacts with people, moves around the towns, interacts with the people, because the people must also relate to whatever you're bringing in, give you their feedback so you can build on it. In the area of Okada and all those things, that is also coming up. I mean, when you're introducing me, you mentioned postal and courier, and a lot of work is being done in that area. We don't even need to wait for after elections to implement some of these things. There are different uses for motorbikes, tricycles, and all that. But in this era where digitalization is the order of the day, e-commerce is the order of the day, people are building convenience into their lives, we also need to look at it. Look at the better way of using it. The postal and courier services has been around. In actual fact, this is our 20th year since the commission was set up, and a lot has gone in there with respect to how best we can utilize motorbikes, and delivery has become one of the things that has really been built into our, and also become the last mile for businesses, especially those in the e-commerce business, and even those who are not in it. Today, we sit in our offices.
So does your office spans to cover especially the transportation?
Yes, so my office regulates postal and courier services.
Okay.
So when you talk about postal and courier services, there's a designated national postal institution. That's the Ghana Post.
Right.
Get it? So any
That's what
other institution. So in 2003.
So hold on. Do you collaborate with Obo?
We regulate the post.
Regulate.
So we are the regulator of Ghana Post. And I'm bringing out this so that we can all understand that there are better ways of using it, and that is what we have championed as a government. It was in 2003 when President Kufuor wanted to liberalize the space of courier service. So it used to be just the big players and the Ghana Post.
Yeah.
But it was another opportunity of creating jobs, especially for the youth.
Okay.
You know, so government regulates. So you have your national postal institution, that's the Ghana Post. So nobody in that space can deal with postage stamp, anything to do with post. Nobody can deliver anything below 2 grams. All that are for the national postal provider. But then when you come to the courier and delivery space, motorbikes fundamentally, because of the ease to use them and all that. So the act was passed to liberalize the space, bring other players in, create employment, enhance it. And I think it was around then, I think it was the Honorable Kandapa's time, is now national security. So we've built it over the years, done the regulation over the years. This is the 20th year. But then you talk and a lot of people go, a lot of work. One of the things we did,
I mean, I mentioned your office to someone yesterday.
Yes,
and the person was like, when was that created?
No, it was created
I said, she's
a long time ago. Oh, come on. It's not a matter of big woman, it's a matter of the work you do.
Yeah.
So what we did when we came in, so it's like a broad two broad categories that we had initially, international, domestic. But once you realize that the domestic companies have a very high turnover because like they have to go on the wings of all these international companies who are already big households. So how you help them, how you regulate them, how you help them understand the importance, the safety, and all that is very important. Over the years, the e-commerce have also come in, even trying to, the airlines and all these things are doing all these last mile things. So you look at it in that perspective. One of the things we came in, but definitely we can't start a new category because all these categories were passed by Parliament. Fees and charges are passed by Parliament. But then we had to think through it. Look, someone with a one motorbike, because most of these people that we call Okada, actually the ones that do the delivery. Today, when you call someone from Abusokai and say you want a part, you don't need to drive all the way to Abusokai. They'll get someone to deliver it to you. So you look at how best you can regulate the space and make it better so that there are alternative use and not necessary
but I'm
for
taking
doing
you,
it. Yes.
I'm taking you back to the toll booth.
No, I was going to say something
promises.
before. I was going to say something before you said it. So I was telling you that one of the things we did to encourage these Okada riders and all that was to pilot the one biker thing because it was becoming like, okay, so like I said, there are two broad categories and every category has the small and all that. We have different criteria for putting you in a category. But one of the key requirements for the small domestic category is the number of bikes. And that's between more than 1 to 5. But then you have one young person who has just completed school, wants to do something, has only one bike, and has to come and pay like someone in the small category. So we have to introduce the single biker category so that they are able to build. Because once we regulate you, we also monitor your progress, encourage you. There are trainings, there are institutions helping us. Just 2 days ago, we even met with the Institute of Transport and Logistics because one of the things that we also need to look at is standardizing even the way they dress.
Okay, is that to say that with the Okada permits being given by His Excellency, the former president, is almost the same being done now, or what exactly are you saying? The thing is, you keep going on, and when you make it about Okada, you miss the point. Okay. Because what is the key vehicle in this conversation? It's the motorbike. What are the reasons why we are trying to regulate them and make sure they are? It's the accidents and all those things. So you're talking to MTTD. But what is the biggest share? What's the biggest share? Is it the deliveries or the transportation? Which is the biggest
From where
market?
I sit, the biggest share is the delivery.
Are you sure?
Because even these people do.
Because, hold on, you have talked about, you mentioned the one biker category. Yes. There are 5 bikers category or whatever number.
A small, medium, large.
Small, medium. Okay, so you have small,
medium, large,
and large. The medium, the small, contains how many?
Is a maximum of 5, or 1 to 5, yes.
And then the minimum.
So now with the one biker that we piloted is 2 to about 5. But there are other considerations.
Yes, I get
that. We do.
Yes,
so it doesn't really. I was just using that for the purposes of our conversation.
Right. So maybe you're looking at it. I'm not sure if you've drawn any statistical. You've done a study to come to that conclusion, but with just a glance, I would say that you see how online businesses have flourished in the country. So all of them are using these bikers.
And these people do the last mile. All the Instagram businesses, all those people on the Facebook marketplace and all that. At the end of the day, they look for a biker to deliver
So if you look
products.
at it from that angle, you might come to that conclusion.
So that's what I'm telling you. From where I sit, even those who are doing the transportation are doing the delivery.
Okay, they are also doubling to do.
Exactly, they are doing the delivery.
I understand you.
You get so you see them with their backpacks and all those things. And one of the
so if I walk by the roadside, sometimes I see them packed at junctions and places that are convenient for them. These groups of people or persons, sometimes you have about 20 bikes packed as if they are on sale.
So if you go to a place like Abokobi, if you go to a place like Abokobi Markets. You see a lot of motorbikes. We are talking about this thing and regulating it properly and making sure that they are safe in more of an urban context. But when you go to Abokobi, which has a lot of developing areas, GPRTU hasn't even set out their routes and all those things.
Yeah.
So the motorbike becomes the main source of transportation.
Okay.
So once you are there, it's not really a nuisance. But when you come into the urban center, because of the various modes of transportation, so you also need to look at the context in which you are looking at it and put it in a proper context. So the conversation about this shouldn't necessarily be about just the Okada. You look at it because motorbikes, and talking about even electric bikes, there's a young lady, I think, what's the name of the company? Wow. She's into electric bikes and all that. And when you talk to her, the kind of plan she has and all that, even going into the tricycles and all that.
Okay.
And they do some level of delivery.
Let me pick your thought. What do you make of what she said?
Well,
I mean, she thinks that you are focusing just on what we deem Okada, which is just a transport go and come thingy, but it's broader than that.
let's look at the data. I'm sure Okada will hit almost 1 million. Yes, on Friday we had over 1,300. And it's not just Okada, but tricycles. Those, and they now play a role in waste management. And we're looking at the broad context of job creation. We're also looking at safety, and we're also looking at the transport industry or the transport ecosystem. And His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is being innovative, being forward-looking, forward-thinking, has already realized that there is a need to regulate. There is a need to operationalize because, like she said, it's not even in the outskirts, even within the urban human settlements in Accra and the capitals, in villages, across
Not even
all,
in villages. You go to Tamale, it's almost like the
across
main
all
means of
communities,
transport, right?
we have Okada drivers and operators providing transportation. And they have done well by organizing themselves. And His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is saying that we are going to scale this up, review the laws, and ensure that you are able to operate within the confines of the law with safety, with your safety, your passengers' safety, and safety of other road users being our priority and prime concern. This is a forward-looking, development-oriented political leader who has diagnosed the situation and is offering a policy proposal that would address high unemployment, that will address safety and security, and that will also address the issues relating to road use and safety. And like I said, it's not just Okada, but also tricycles and these are emerged. I wouldn't even say emerging. These are emerged modes of transportation. Let's say 10 years ago, we didn't have Okada to this magnitude. And every single year, there has been an increase. And I haven't seen any policy, any government directive by the MPP to address this new emerged mode of transportation. So yes, we talk about accidents. Yes, we talk about danger to road users. Yes, we talk about flagrant, sometimes abuse of road transport directions and all that. And that is why we need to look at this situation and provide results or provide proposals that would address.
Yeah.
Because you go to Mumbai in India, it's been legalized and operationalized.
Yeah.
Nigeria also has some provisions. But over the past 7 years, the MPP government have not done anything. They have not said anything about Okada. They have not done anything about Okada or tricycles. They have watched as the situation has, like we've had the accidents and things. It is His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, who is the first political leader in Ghana to address this, and actually the first political leader to meet the Okada drivers and assure them that their challenges, their problems, their issues will be addressed, because he's a listening political leader and he can solve these issues. So this is what we're talking about. MPP have not said a single word.
Wow.
Vice President Bawumia has not even bothered to meet with any Okada drivers, has not bothered to meet with any tricycle drivers or owners, because he does not care.
So just a quick one. It's not.
What I was
no.
Okay,
no.
before you address, yes. I'll let you talk. But what I wanted even to drive at was how Dr. Bawumia is seeming. I'm not sure how to really interpret it, because Dr. Bawumia is in office. There are specific things that were supposed to have been done in office. This office was not able to do it, but he is promising to do in the next office. An example is burning of excavators. Now, he goes on a campaign tour and says, I'm not going to burn excavators. He was in office when he saw excavators being burnt. There's also another issue with the tolls, which I was raising earlier on. A minister of state takes the laws into his own hands, decides to scrap the tolls without parliamentary approval. We went through that roller coaster, and today the tolls are down. Meanwhile, prior to election 2016, it was Dr. Bawumia who was making promises that we don't have to borrow anywhere, just toll the various roads and we'll make the money. But today we have actually closed down the tolls, we've destroyed them, we've shut them down completely. He is now going on a tour again, and he's promising that the tolls will be brought back. Are we not losing more than we even have to make?
Annie, let's think about governance and the way it's run. Governance is not static. You move and improve on decisions you've made. Let me just clear this one, then we can move on. The Coastal Development Authority in 2021 launched a Coda Drive. Coda Drive, remember those small vehicles that came in? I think it was with Bajaj or something.
Japan
yes,
company.
They even promised free service and all that. So if we sit here and say nobody has engaged Okada drivers after the election, I think that is far from the truth. So that is there. Coda Drive, check with Coastal Development Authority. You see, it's not a matter of just saying, I'll do it for you. That's why I was trying to go back to what is being done and how it can be improved. And why Dr. Bawumia is also moving around. You go into the people, talk to them about what you've done and what you want to do locally. So when he was in a Volta like this, he talked about the free zones for Aflaho. It's like, you need local solutions. It's just like going to...
You said the things that will meet the expectation of the locals.
Economy. Because at the end of the day, when the local economies thrive, it affects the nationwide thing. So you need to look at it. If today we're having a conversation about legalizing some of these things, like in Tamale, that has been the main mode of transport. Now is what they call the yellow, the tricycles. Yes. You go to a place like I mentioned, Abokobi, because I've seen it there. It's there because the areas around there are now developing. It takes time for stations to be identified. So once you get to the Abokobi market station,
but you want to admit
most
that,
of those things are those things. So it's not about just making a blanket
this possibly,
statement.
when you mention Mahama Kambu reminds me, but this possibly could have been really a dream of Mahama for years, because he also
dreamed
sought to
for
bring
years,
in,
and he was around for 8 years, and that dream never materialized.
I'm saying that because of his importation of these yellow tricycles to assist some of those who want to use it for transportation. So if today he's talking about, looking at a legal frame that will regulate this particular area, then you cannot take that away from him. It's something that he has worked towards it.
You take what from him? Nobody's taking anything from him. But at this point in time, we are still talking about when you want to come into government, like you're saying, Dr. Bawumia is moving around and talking about what he will do when he becomes president. It's based on what? It's based on the existing situation. So you build on it. It's not like the former president and our compatriots are living in another nation and they don't know what is happening in this nation. Or if for nothing at all, there's a minority in parliament that is made up of their party. Everything goes through there. So they need to be aware, they should be aware of what is happening there. So we're already doing things in that regard. Look, even for my institution, when we are having engagement, it's a collaborative thing.
Right.
Those days, these people used to be stopped a lot by MTTD and the police. But gradual engagement. When we're having our stakeholder engagement, you have the police, you have the AMA, you have all the stakeholders in there. So a well-regulated space will solve these things. And
right.
I think, and as we are doing, introducing the single biker, improving on e-commerce and building all these platforms that will aid these things, they are better users. It's all a matter of engagement, not just platform talk.
Okay. You still didn't answer the question of the double stance of Dr. Bawumia.
What's the double stance of Dr. Bawumia?
Of things that are happening in government, and he's assuring, I think that he has more responsibility to explain to the people why the things he's promising did not happen in his office.
They did not happen now?
Yes. Why would he watch excavators burnt only to wait and come and tell us that when I come, I won't burn excavators?
He watched excavators.
Why would he watch?
Is there anywhere you heard him telling anybody to go and burn excavators?
Does that mean that he doesn't take leadership responsibilities?
Our lessons. Annie, if excavators were burnt and we've learned from that and we're going to build on it, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
So he's learned from the toll booths
You learn from, of course.
Okay.
You learn from your lessons and you build on it. You shouldn't be arrogant to say that just because I've said it. You are looking for how this nation will build.
Okay.
Tolls will serve a good purpose.
Right.
We cancel them. You've learned from your lessons. I will bring them back. That is what a conscientious leader do. Not to stand in your grounds and think that just because we cancelled it, I shouldn't go there and tell the people. It will help. That is what we are going to do.
Okay, I'll do this quick one before we take a break, and just about some 2 minutes to, and because it's human interest and about human lives, I'm quite passionate about it, and that has to do with the dialysis situation at maybe various hospitals, or Kolebu to be precise. That's what we've been talking about the most of the times. And we have captured on the front page of most of the papers, NHIA promising to give free 6 months of dialysis to patients. And I'm reading from the Ghanaian Times. Inquisitor also captures, Daily Graphic captures. The Ghanaian Times says effective June to December 2024. And, let's go to page 8 of the Ghanaian Times. It says that persons suffering from kidney disease aged 18 and those above 60 years will receive all 8 dialysis sessions per month for free under the National Health Insurance Scheme, NHIS, effective June 1, 2024, December 2024. The National Insurance Authority has announced the move according to the statement signed by the Acting Chief Executive Officer, NHIA, Dr. Da Costa Abuaji, and copied the Ghanaian Times in Accra yesterday, formed part of the 20th anniversary celebration. It said that the source of the funding for the intervention was the government of Ghana, approved by Parliament at an amount of 2 million Ghana cedis in the NHIA's 2024 allocation formula in order to support needy and vulnerable patients seeking dialysis treatment. Actually, I was now reflecting on the formula, and I was wondering which part of the formula are they going to allocate to this. So clarity is that the amount is government of Ghana approved by Parliament, an amount of 2 million Ghana cedis in the NHIA 2024 allocation formula in order to support needy and vulnerable patients seeking dialysis treatment. As part of the NHIA 20th anniversary, through the administrative arrangement, has allocated an additional 2,400,000 Ghana cedis under the corporate social responsibility approved by the budget of scheme to support this initiative. The statement added. So that's what a bit of relief coming for the patients, the kidney patients. Lawyer.
Populist, obviously, for political purposes, and this is a populist move by the NHIS, and it's very regrettable that as a public service institution, it should double in this, because we have a pattern of the MPP government engaging in such populist measures and interventions. We had a situation where during the COVID, they provided free water, free electricity, and then even some services, some benefits for the police. And then after elections,
and the nurses
and all that,
medical.
even said they were, I think, either giving them some money because of the work they were doing. But after the elections and everything, they turned back and collected the money. And we should not joke with people's lives. And you are doing this for a category of persons above 60, and I think I heard about, is it people below 18? So what about those above 18 and below 60?
They are not.
Between 19 years, those between 19 years and 59 years, what happens to them? And have we done any research to ascertain or find out which demographic group suffers, are mostly in need? Right. What has informed this? How many are on dialysis who are below 18, and how many are on dialysis who are above 60? And this is entirely discriminatory. This is state money. This is money belonging to Ghanaians. So who took that decision? And it's now cutting out a large proportion of patients on dialysis. Because a large proportion of patients on dialysis are above 18 and below 60. So what have you done? And this is 2 million. And we know the corruption-ridden MPP. Every single state sector under the MPP government is ridden by corruption. So Parliament should find out if this is also another avenue for the MPP to siphon money for their political purposes.
But this was approved by Parliament anyway.
Yes, but they should find out, because this is what is happening. How can we even sustain this? Only for 6 months. And we all know the condition of those on dialysis. What do they do after December? Can't the MPP government think through a more sustainable way of ensuring that Ghanaians who are on dialysis and who are desperate and who cannot afford are able to get dialysis treatment, affordable dialysis treatment? To what extent will this ad hoc populist intervention actually help in terms of quality of health and in terms of treatment for patients under dialysis? It will not help, and they should not even go that way. Let the health of Ghanaians be the supreme interest and be the priority for the MPP government. This is going nowhere.
Why don't you think about it this way, that maybe after the period of this kind gesture, if you may, we would have come up with a solution, with a permanent solution.
Let them. It's been how many months? It's been how many years? Every other week, we hear patients crying and appealing for funds for dialysis treatment. We heard of the numbers, over 10 or so patients who died because they could not afford, and when there were issues with the dialysis machines in some of the tertiary hospitals. How has the Ghana Health Service and the Ministry of Health under MPP government, what solutions have they preferred? As Vice President Bawumia tours the length and breadth of the country, he has not uttered one word on how dialysis patients will get some reprieve and will be treated. He has not uttered one word because he doesn't care. He does not care. And NHIS is yet coming up with this populist political measure that is a flash in a pan, and that will not solve any problems, health problems, and that cannot be sustained. And that is leaving behind majority of dialysis patients in Ghana. This is not the anecdote. This will not help dialysis patients. Let's be real.
As you're, putting together your manifesto, I'm not sure if it's come up within the
It has come up, and we have measures.
Because
we've
looked at also in a broader perspective how the situation is even more serious than just dialysis patients not having, monies for treatment. Where I think we showed it on the screen with various hospitals and the number of dialysis machines they had. Some had 0, some had 1, some had 2, some were broken down. I mean, it's a serious that if we're not attending to it now, in the next 2 to 3 years, we're having a lot more kidney issues today because of change in lifestyle. If you check the hospital statistics, you know that kidney situation has really shot out, through the roofs. So it means that we need to pay attention more to the treatment side. So I'm not sure if you are considering that maybe in the event where you assume office, you will have some.
We have considered that. It is not in my place to
tell us. Okay.
But we have considered, if you look at our health proposals, we have considered financing, the issue of financing of this, especially the non-communicable diseases. We have also looked at the extent to which this service will be available, right down, looking at the whole medical infrastructure. So right down, and not even only the service being available, but the healthcare providers in terms of doctors, qualified doctors, to be at even the community and at the district level to be able to provide the service. Yes, we have a formidable health committee, and this is something that they have considered. So once our manifesto is launched, or once our flag bearer, John Dramani Mahama, goes round, he is going to announce some of these proposals. But yes, you will see proposals on not only dialysis treatment, but other non-communicable disease, because diabetes is also an issue. We have kidney issues, we have liver and others. So we have also focused on that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Lara too. I was looking at it, Lara, I was looking at it from this angle where persons below 18 and 60 are benefiting. But in between this age is the working class.
Honey, it's quite interesting that people who claim to be social democrats will think that a pro-poor intervention is populist. But we can't blame anybody, because even when the NHIS issues were being dealt with in Parliament, we had the NDC walkout. So I'm not surprised at the outburst and the fact that it's poor. When it comes to health, we need to be very careful how we deal with these issues. Health is not the kind of area that you just make a decision and just deal with it. It's not like a building that you know that with time you see cracks and deal with it. The impact, the repercussions are instant. Nobody is happy about the situation of dialysis in the country. But for a government that cares, you start from a point. You start from engaging and making sure that you put things in. We can't just get up and say we are giving free dialysis treatment to everyone. But even even in hospitals and talk to any doctor. When it comes to some of these issues, prominence are given to younger people than the older people. It's there. Today, if you go into a hospital and there's an old person and a young person who need a ventilator, even you as a non-medical person, who will you think the ventilator should be given to? We have challenges with our health system, no doubt about that. Governments after government have tried to make it better. But it's interventions like the insurance scheme that makes it better for those that cannot afford. We saw the state of health insurance before the MPP came to power in 2017. It was nothing to write home about. Today, when you talk to them, if they have an outstanding, then there's a delay. But for so many years, facilities were not being paid and was affecting all of us. Dialysis is a hard conversation to have. And when you are dealing with health and you want to focus only on the curative, you have a problem. Because preventive cuts some of these things. And it comes to lifestyle.
But what are we doing on the preventive side?
If you remember President Kufuor's time, there was a program on regenerative health. Gyms and all that were involved. Healthy lifestyles. You had people go on TV and all that. For the 8 years that the NDC was in power and changed ministers 7 times, what did they do about that?
On the regenerative health program?
Yes, what did they do about that? You see, it's a whole basket of issues. You deal with the preventive, you deal with... So you have your...
But if you go on that tangent, I'll also ask you,
yes,
that within that 8-year period, did you hear dialysis?
Again?
Did you hear about dialysis situation like this where today we had 19 people die, over 4 million Ghana cedis?
For a long time, until the cardio center was set up, you used to hear issues of heart conditions and all that.
No, not the conditions. I'm talking about how the situation got critical. Because you're making reference, I'm also asking.
Can I build on my point? The cardio center is there. It may have its issues or whatever it is, but it's come to be a stopgap for some of these issues. It's become a relief for some of these issues. When we started with health insurance, we didn't have childhood cancers on it. Today we have childhood cancers on national health insurance as things that we take. It's gradual. Today, dialysis treatment is because you look at the numbers and you look at the intervention that is sustainable.
Oh, but remember that this is not a sustainable intervention. This is only a 20-year anniversary celebration. After that, comatose, that's it.
Honey, you're going to give...
It's not an intervention. By the NHIA's explanation, they are not... I remember when Dr. Okoboy was there, was one of the discussions where he went into the formula and said that the formula did not allocate anything for dialysis, for example. But in this one that was approved 2024, they made allocation for vulnerable patients seeking treatments, needy but vulnerable, right? And so it made it possible for them to put...
Even on ordinary basic budgets that you do, when you do a budget, you put miscellaneous in there.
Yes.
What is the miscellaneous for? Let's say basic budget.
Yes.
You put miscellaneous in there. Let's say you're going to do an event or something. You put miscellaneous in there. What does it take care of? Things that you don't see. Up. When you're putting something on the health insurance bill, how does it come up? It's things that health has been done in the health sector that are sustainable, that you go and make a case for, and Parliament accepts or otherwise. That is how it's built. This has started. It can be continued. But you look at the numbers.
Yeah, the sad thing, I listened to one of the patients. He's an executive of the group. He spoke on CTFM just this morning, and I was very sad at his response. So the journalist asked him, how do you welcome this good news? He was on the phone for a few seconds and he said, And I was like, I'm listening to this guy and I'm waiting to hear what he for some seconds he couldn't utter a word. And then he comes to say, okay, so after giving us 6 months, then after which, well, we want to thank them for what they have. The guy's body language was very lackadaisical. It's neither here nor there. I mean,
of course, I mean, this is someone who's been struggling with this for a long time. Then now it's like 6 months. He's not looking at 6 months as in giving the...
It's like I'm looking at 6 months to live.
6 months
after 6
to
months,
live.
I will die.
After 6 months, what happens? But these are the way interventions happen. Dr. Okoboy sat here, if I heard him well, it's something that is possible to do.
He
It
said
is possible to be done. But you start from somewhere. We are not the kind of government that will throw our hands in the air and say, this can be done, this is populist, and all that. I mean, obviously, we are dealing with an opposition that doesn't really appreciate poor policies. So you can't really say much. But I think that this is a step to take, and it's something that can be built on. And we all need to do. These people came talking. We all heard about it. You hear them talk, and it's difficult because it could be you.
Okay.
The things we are eating, the places we live, it's all these things are lifestyle disease. It's not like someone just is just born and they have some come with kidney issues, but they are rare. But all these things are lifestyle.
You wanted to make an intervention.
Once we talk about putting interventions, let's also talk about prevention. Let's also talk about our lifestyles, drinking a lot of water, the foods we eat, taking a lot of food. You remember we went through this whole litany of protocols when during COVID. And it looks like we are gradually pushing it back. Even washing of hands. These days you go, the water may be there will be no soap, there will be soap, there is no tissue and all that. But we saw what it did to us.
Yeah, but it all needs leadership. It needs leadership.
And it needs all of us as citizens also put it. Sometimes it's not all about leadership. You don't expect a leader to come and tell you, Annie, when you go to the market and you come back, wash your hands.
You know
Some
why,
of these things are basic.
You know why even Annie, sitting here, I need a leader.
And you have a story to tell.
No,
because of what
you
COVID did
you
to
already know my position. That leadership is cause. Everything else is effect.
Of course. You need people to... We need the public health officials. We need all these, the cohort of health officials within our communities to help educate. Just as when mothers take their children for what we call weighing and all that, care and all that, all the language. It doesn't end just when the child stops going for immunization and all that. We build on it. Because what you put in your body is what shows how your body.
I feel very quickly, Annie.
Quickly.
I mean, very quickly, she mentioned the fact that NDC has not done anything. In fact, if there's any government that has really contributed significantly to the health sector, it is the NDC. We constructed the University of Ghana Medical Center, first class, and look at what it did for us in COVID. We built the University of Health and Allied Sciences, first class, and also instituted the School of Medicine and Health Sciences at UDS. It's never happened that we have any tertiary institution in the northern sector of Ghana. Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings built the Ghana Dental School also, and we've established teaching hospitals, and also regional and district hospitals, health centers, and also CHIPS compounds. Compared to the 7 to 8 year rule of the MPP, they haven't done anything. So we actually have a surge in non-communicable diseases and also communicable diseases. 48% of Ghana's disease burden, and also 42% in terms of non-communicable disease. So she should not be heard saying that NDC has not done anything. We have done most in the health sector in Ghana. And the NDC MPs did not walk out of Parliament during the NHIS debate. I want to correct that fact also. Thank you.
Right. Well, thank you.
Annie,
we will.
Annie, just a quick one. Let's get this clear. When it comes to health, infrastructure is not what fights communicable diseases. is what goes into the infrastructure.
Do we need
It's
it?
the health people, the people that are training. If you really understand what goes in health, you wouldn't come and scrap nursing training allowance. If you understand what goes in health, if you understand what goes into social policies, you didn't come and scrap teachers' allowance, because it's the training of these individuals that makes an infrastructure a health facility. Let's get that clear. It's not a matter of putting those things. And how many? Look, we can do a comparative analysis of infrastructure as against NDC and MPP. You can give us a day to come and do that.
Of
and
health infrastructure?
Yes, health infrastructure. Let's even limit it to health infrastructure.
The government, the MPP's health infrastructure is more than the NDC's health infrastructure.
And even now, all these, if we really had everything in place, why would the Agenda 111 come up? If from what she's saying,
Agenda 111,
every district,
Agenda 111
apart from new districts.
No, I'm
right?
saying that.
Apart from new districts,
Agenda
every district should have had a district hospital. Every region should have had a proper regional hospital.
A policy promise to compare a policy delivered?
Honey, a policy promised that is ongoing is being implemented.
I'm saying that, are you using that to compare
what did it,
a
I don't
policy
even get your
delivered?
question. I don't even get your question.
Why don't you
I don't get your
simple
question.
English?
Government is a continuum. They claim they've built so much infrastructure.
You said
what led to a policy
you said Agenda 111,
yes.
right? And I'm saying that Agenda 111 is in progress. It has started.
Yes.
With some about 50 hospitals.
Yes.
In various stages of completion.
But in the long term, when it's done,
I'm saying
there'll be 101, 111
So wait
facilities.
until it's done, then you can
No. You don't wait until it's done. Why do you formulate a policy?
How do you want to?
Do we wait?
You want
so
to
will
use
you tell
a promise?
me that we should wait?
Then
anybody. We should wait for the end
Lara,
of
this
NHIS.
is not even a debate.
It's a debate.
It's not.
Because of the
it's
question
not.
you are asking.
You cannot use. You cannot use a promise compared to a completed policy or promise.
Agenda 111 is no longer, it's being implemented.
It's not done.
It's being implemented.
We were given 101 hospitals.
See, you have to listen to the premise of my argument. If they claim that they built facilities across this country that is saving us, why do we have to go ahead with Agenda 111? Is it because we think
of corruption and you want money? That is all.
What about Agenda
Agenda 111 equals MPP
I decided
corruption.
not to go there, but she's going there.
I'm
saying she's talking about the dialysis thing. She said, "What? How can you do this in 6 months?" I don't blame her because they don't understand how they are just going to use it to siphon money for their campaign. Probably when she was minister, that was what they were doing. So I can't blame her for that. You can only say what you did and just assume that is what another person is going to.
Okay.
So probably when she was minister,
so what
and
about
was
General Hospital?
Cabinet, everything that they brought 6 months to the election was to siphon.
General Hospital.
What about General Hospital? Yes. We've gone over this.
You are accusing them of scrapping nursing allowance. Yes. They can also accuse you of just demolishing La General Hospital.
It was demolished. There were issues to it. It was an unfortunate incident that happened. But a contractor is there.
Incident.
Of course, why not? I mean, anything that denies people health for a period of time is unfortunate.
Okay.
But it's being rectified.
Right. When we return, we're going to court tomorrow, and that has to do with now a high-profile case, I would say, because it involves a minority leader and the state. Let's put it rightly. That is the ambulance trial, okay? And it's been a lot of developments coming up. The latest one has to do with the file for stay of prosecution and a response from the Office of the Attorney General that ignore that filing that they have done. The Attorney General is not in the country as at yet, but his deputy is still speaking to us. So I think we are aided somewhat. And we have some good news also coming in that Ghana has been ranked 5th in terms of governance on the African continent. So the question is it, I mean, we have our own issues as a country, but are these issues enough for us to complain a lot? Because some other institutions sitting there somewhere is looking at us from a distance and saying that you guys are doing amazing. So you're number 5 on the African continent in terms of governance. We'll take a breather. We'll be back shortly with these issues. right, you're welcome back to the program. We're still on Good Morning Ghana, and I'm still in the studio with Laura Temusa Saka, a member of the MPP, and also Nana Oyebampo Ado, Esquire, and a member of the NDC manifesto team. Right? Are you the head? The team?
No, I'm the secretary. I'm the secretary to the manifesto committee.
Hey, you're a big woman.
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work because I've been trying to get you, and then every time I call, oh, I need a manifesto. Oh my goodness. Anyway,
that's okay.
So let me remind you that if you know what wealth means to you and you want to live like a tycoon, remember who's got the mullah, got the power, and Ghana's newest lottery game draws live on Adom TV, 9 a.m., 12 p.m., and 6 p.m. daily. So pick up your phones and tablets and download the Game Park game app on your Play Store. You can also play on the website is gameparkgames.com or dial *946# on all networks. So just choose from the number 029 and make some cash or mullah. Nobody beats our odds in Ghana. And it says that Game Park Games is regulated by the National Lottery Authority. Not for persons under 18, so play responsibly. Betway Cash Out is also out. It says, Ayesoko. Betway is giving you more control over every thrilling bet you place and enjoy the biggest and most reliable cash outs in Ghana on Betway without hassle. Sign up today on betway.com. And also, Blue Jeans Energy Drink is also available on the market. It's been there for 20 years, and we already know what that's for the body, containing vitamins like vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, and also taurine and guarana, which are also known to boost your strength and energy as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans Energy Drinks has been tested and tried and is indeed best. Contact them on Budget Cash and Carry on 0208 128 190 or 055 001 0000. That's for Blue Jeans Energy Drink. So, just for ambulance trial, we've moved through what was running in court from Richard Jakpa being in the dock and being questioned by Counsel Eduji and Attorney General, coming in and throwing in accusations that Richard Jakpa, who is the third accused, is in court to defend the first accused, who is Ato, the minority leader Ato Forson. And then the accusations followed the NDC now coming out, the communications officer, the national communications officer, meeting the press and telling them that a bombshell has been thrown in court. And this is what Richard Jakpa said. They're going to follow through and bring the evidence of the allegations, not allegations, they say it's testimony in court. Which testimony of which the Attorney General did not object to it or say anything to it, but it's gone on record. So it means that it can't be used against the Attorney General. So what happened was that the NDC decided to go ahead, get the tape of evidence they said they had, and put it out. Before the tape was put out, remember that the Attorney General had released a statement from the Attorney General's office, claiming that there is nothing like the Attorney General meeting Richard Jakpa on any day. Then the NDC threatened that we're going to bring the evidence. Then later, the Attorney General comes out by his PR saying that, well, Richard Jakpa was met by the Attorney General, but that was in his own cousin's home. And then the party also mentions, the party held a press conference as well, after the NDC held a press conference, and mentioned the Supreme Court judge's name, being Richard Jakpa's relative. And that is the meeting they held. But the voice that was leaked, the tape that was leaked, did not contain his voice. It means that that meeting was not, it was a meeting on phone. And the recording was out. The NPP is still threatening that they have more and they will bring it out. I don't know, we're waiting. However, the court is going to be sitting tomorrow. And there are some lawyers who are also still senior lawyers. We have lawyer Ansar Sari speaking. We have lawyer Martin Pebu speaking. We have some senior men of the country calling on His Excellency to sack the Attorney General or make him resign because he's bringing the judiciary, to disrepute. So they have to attend to that. A lot is happening. The latest has to do with the accused, that's the third accused, Richard Jakpa, now filing a case in court asking for this case to be cancelled, and that is calling for what you call the stay.
Well, he's asking for for it to be struck out. The charges to be struck out against him. Yes.
So let me get this clearly.
Yes.
His case that he has filed,
yes,
he is asking for the charges to be struck out against just him.
Yes.
And not the first accused.
To be struck out against him.
Against him.
Yes, against him.
All right.
Yes.
Let's hear you on it.
So basically, we have the records of the court. We also have the tape that has been heard. And we clearly heard the voice of the third accused, Jakpa. We clearly heard the voice of the Attorney General, Dami. We also have learnt, and these are facts, that a meeting was held in the house of a Supreme Court judge, His Lordship Justice Yoni Kulendi. These raise serious issues. The perversion of justice, unethical conduct, unlawful conduct, unconstitutional conduct of an Attorney General who is the leader of the bar of the Republic of Ghana, an Attorney General and Minister of Justice. This has implications for the rule of law. It has implications for justice delivery. It has implications in addressing corruption in Ghana. And it has an adverse effect on the integrity of both the bench and the bar of the Republic of Ghana, and stains terribly the cause of justice in Ghana. And is that his voice or not? Yes, it's his voice. Did he try to influence the third accused or not? We heard him clearly saying that, even try and delay, use medical reasons to delay. And for me, this morning, I'm going on two tangents. The General Legal Counsel's silence on this issue, as against their role, their legal obligation and role according to the statute and the law that sets up the General Legal Counsel. Here is Dami suggesting the use of a medical excuse to delay court processes. Here is a situation where a third accused is being influenced in the house of a Supreme Court judge. Potential witnesses are being interfered with. And also, you have discussions with the third accused without the counsel. The General Legal Counsel's role is to maintain licenses of lawyers, and they can even disbar lawyers. Mm-hmm. They have a disciplinary committee that sanctions and disbars lawyers. They are the main regulatory body for the legal profession in Ghana, and they have a duty to uphold standards of professional conduct and ethics of the legal profession. Is the General Legal Counsel saying that they have not heard anything about what is happening? They are governed by the Legal Profession Act, and they also have come up with the Professional Conduct and Etiquette Rules of year 2020, LI 24-23. And so in that LI 24-23, it says in Section 8, a lawyer who holds public office shall not allow professional or personal interests to conflict with the proper performance of official duties. 13, communication with a represented person. Jakpa was a represented person. A lawyer shall not communicate or deal with a represented person on a matter or attempt to negotiate or compromise a matter directly with a represented person, except with the consent of a lawyer. So what Honorable Dami sought to do is in direct contravention of the Legal Profession Conduct and Etiquette Rules 2020, LI 24-23. What is the General Legal Counsel saying when the leader of the bar, Minister of Justice, Attorney General, flagrantly violates a law? He, as a leader of the bar, flagrantly violates a law. What is the General Legal Counsel saying. We are calling the General Legal Counsel in the name of justice and in the name of upholding the scales of justice to intervene and ensure that Section 8 and 13 of their laws are applied and enforced. They need to act. We go to the Ghana Bar Association. I'm just going on these two institutions. The Ghana Bar Association, when you read their website, and I'm a member of the Ghana Bar Association, we say we are the voice of conscience of Ghana. Where is the voice of conscience of Ghana now, when our leader of the Bar Association of Ghana, in the person of Dami, who is Minister of Justice, is violating the law, is acting unconstitutionally, and the party MPP that put him there is saying that he will continue to be in office. And the President of the Republic of Ghana, who is also a member of the Bar Association of Ghana, has zipped his mouth and said nothing. He has been silent, despite well-meaning Ghanaians telling him to sack Dame or to ask him to resign. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has, in his usual manner and style, said absolutely nothing. The Bar Association has said that it maintains independence of all state organs and opposes government and judiciary when it considers they have undertaken measures that are inimical to the larger interests of the country. What Dame has done by this leak tape is very inimical to the larger interests of Ghana, because he is placing the judiciary in dispute and even delivery of justice. Because as the leader, he himself is contravening the law. And the Bar Association also has its code of ethics, Part VI. They shall inquire into any alleged professional misconduct. That is the disciplinary committee of the Bar Association, Part 6, VI. The disciplinary committee shall inquire into any alleged professional misconduct of any member of the association. In the Code of Ethics, it talks about acts of dishonor. A lawyer commits misconduct if he commits an act of fraud, dishonesty, or corruption, or does an act which is likely to bring the profession in dispute. Dame, as Minister of Justice, by his conduct, where we heard what he said on the tape, has brought the legal profession in Ghana into disrepute. Okay, he has committed a misconduct, and the Ghana Bar Association, as a paid-up member of the Ghana Bar Association, I'm using your medium to urge and demand that the Ghana Bar Association investigates this act of misconduct by the leader of the Ghana Bar Association, and also the General Legal Counsel by LI 2320.
How about the Legal Aid Commission?
The Legal Aid Commission doesn't have a locus here. Okay. They provide legal services for poor and indigent Ghanaians.
But they're not concerned about issues like these. If you have an accused person, facing prosecution, and you have the Attorney General having these engagements with him and all the allegations made as far as the tape is concerned, they don't have any...
Legally, they don't have it. They provide legal services.
Okay.
This falls smack on the laps of the General Legal Counsel and the Ghana Bar Association. And their regulations and laws are very clear. LI 2324 and 2424 is very, very clear. And it is clear that Dame has contravened the law.
Okay.
So I'm asking
just a quick one.
Yes.
I've heard a lawyer say that this can be a hearing within a hearing.
Yes.
So it means that if the judge decides to make this a hearing, then we do not have the permission to draw a conclusion or to judge what pertains to the tape.
The judge the judge can do the hearing within a hearing in the case, the pending criminal case in court.
On the ambulance.
the judge can do that. We are talking about the conduct of the leader of the bar, being the Minister of Justice.
The point I'm making is that
yes.
the accused has now filed a case,
yes.
right? And,
yes.
and hoping to be heard.
Yes.
So if the judge decides to call this
yes.
case, which would be a hearing within a hearing,
yes.
then, I mean, can we really
the General Legal Counsel
all bodies
the
to
General
talk about
Legal
it
Counsel
and
and the bar,
it?
they
then
can.
We have judged,
it's not a matter of condemn. They ought to investigate.
Okay. So you're calling on them to investigate. Of course, they ought to investigate. They investigated Francis Sosu, did they not? Yeah, yeah.
They investigated, is it Francis Kabuating, and then there's a lawyer in Kumasi. This is something that they do as a matter of course. They will, of course, investigate. There will be a committee or whatever, and they will give you an opportunity to speak, and they would look at all the evidence and then conclude whether or not there has been a misconduct.
Right.
What I'm saying is that the legislative instrument that has been passed under the Ghana General Legal Counsel gives it that power to look at whether or not there has been a misconduct by Dame. And the Ghana Bar Association, under its code of ethics and its code of conduct, also has that power to investigate and come up with a verdict. And this is what we are asking them to do, because we have not heard anything.
Okay.
And it has a profound, devastating impact on justice delivery in Ghana, especially where some of these whatever the talk and whatever went on in the house
of a judge,
a Supreme Court judge.
Can that also call for another case, maybe against a Supreme Court judge?
Well, that is why we want the General Legal Counsel to take it up and investigate under their own legislative instrument. And I've talked about Section 8 and Section 13.
There are lawyers,
it's very critical.
There are lawyers, when they're prosecuting a particular matter, because of the nature of the case, they will not even meet their relatives who are judges.
Yes.
Because of the case they're sitting on.
Yes.
So I'm just wondering, how did Justice Kolendi, as mentioned by the MPP actually, decide to entertain this?
That is why the General Legal Counsel has to investigate, so that we know the story. For all you know, we are assuming he was not aware they were coming to his house. I mean, if the gentleman is his cousin, I mean, maybe the cousin, we can't conjecture.
No, but if you check the WhatsApp exchanges between Richard, then it means between Richard and the AG. It is the AG that actually suggested that Richard wanted to meet, and he suggested that, well, then we'll meet in your brother's home. I think we'll have... Okay.
So the thing is that
let's go on. As they
there's
post,
a need.
So it says, I will arrange through your brother. Thanks.
So you see, so let's also find out. Let the Supreme Court judge also be heard. Let us hear the tapes in the entirety. Let us know what happened in the residence of the Supreme Court judge. His Lordship Yoni Kulendi. Let the facts be established. And the General Legal Counsel, under the legislative instrument of the Legal Profession Conduct and Etiquette Rules, has that power, has been given that power by the legislative instrument to investigate. And there's even a section for even public prosecutors. There's a section for public prosecutors who also misconduct themselves. So the General Legal Counsel, apart from the calls, which I support, for the president to sack him or for him to resign, the law makes it clear, and the General Legal Counsel have to act with alacrity to solve this problem, to save the dispensation of justice and justice delivery in Ghana. We need to hold up the scales of justice evenly.
All right. Lara too.
Yes, Annie.
So this is where we are, where the third accused has filed and is calling for the case, accusations leveled against him to be struck out. And the Attorney General office has actually come out for the court to dismiss. Ghanaian publisher says that AG ambulance trial, AG tells court to dismiss accused persons' applications.
Because they don't have enough grounds for what they are.
Well,
Well, Annie, I'm quite taken up for that. This is about the third week, right?
Yes.
That we are discussing this issue.
Yes, because it keeps running. And
and I'm
the
wondering,
concern of people, right, is that the Attorney General's office is the office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. There are a lot of concerns, if you hear people, is that we have an Attorney General, but we don't have a Minister for Justice.
Why do you say we don't have a Minister of Justice?
By a lot of analysis and by observation of what goes on, people think that the current Attorney General is too political to be in the office of the Attorney General and the Minister of Justice.
I hope the people you are listening to NDC people, you have that assumption.
So do you want to say that lawyer Ansah Ansari is NDC?
I don't know him.
You don't know him?
No.
You don't know lawyer Ansah Ansari?
No, please. I'm not a lawyer.
No.
If you talk about people within my space,
I
don't know him.
Okay.
There's not any sort of, I don't know him.
Okay, go ahead.
But listening to lawyers that I've been on set with, sometimes I wonder if there's a new regime of law in this country or not from a layman's perspective. I have been taken aback by how jittery the NDC and especially lawyers affiliated to the NDC are going about this. There have been conversations over the years about decoupling the office of the Minister of Justice and the office of the Attorney General. Because when you even look at all the appointees, it's only the Attorney General's role that is stipulated in our Constitution, Article 88.
So just a quick
right?
one. This is scandalous. Attorney General must resign. Ansah Ansari, a former Director General of the Ghana School of Law and private legal practitioner, Mr. Ansah Ansari, is calling for the resignation of the Attorney General Godfrey Adame. According to the legal luminary, Mr. Adame is experienced and well aware.
And you're going to read everybody's opinion,
No,
every lawyer's opinion, every judge's opinion.
Because I mentioned him and you said you didn't know him, it will be fair. Just to lay the facts right before
but
you continue.
Reading this doesn't let me know him.
So he says, but I'll still
He's
read.
a former director of where? Ghana Law School.
Yes.
Or was he the one that had issues with the Attorney General?
I wouldn't know that.
Was he the one that had issues with his being moved from the law school and he had issues with the Attorney General?
I wouldn't know that.
Exactly. So then let us go in there.
His position that he held.
So let me make my point. The Attorney General's position, and over the years there have been conversations, lawyers and non-lawyers, about the decoupling of those two offices. But the Attorney General's role, he's a state's lawyer. He's the one supposed to lead prosecution for us when anybody is found culpable of doing anything untoward towards the state. So this case is the state against Ato Forson and one other, right? Alleged to have caused a financial loss of over 2.something million euros, right? And this was in relation to ambulances that they were supposed to purchase. And the Member of Parliament, Honorable Ato Forson, wrote to Bank of Ghana for LCs to the tune of some 3.9, a little over 3.9 euros, so that the representative of Big C, Richard, can go, because he had approached Ministry of Health that he has been able to raise some funding with Stanbic Bank to bring in some 200 ambulances. But the LC he signed was, I think, was for some 50 ambulances. Mm-hmm. Those 50 ambulances came in, and they were not fit for purpose. Those facts are not lost on anyone. So he's alleged to have caused financial loss to the state, and they have said, pleaded not guilty on countless times, every time that they are in court. So I'm wondering where this distraction is coming from. I don't know how the Ghana Bar Association operates. I was looking at online to see if I could find their constitution. But what I know in any association is that when a member, and when Nana was talking, she said she's a paid-up member, right? A member in good standing. I don't think when you're a member in good standing in an association, you sit on air and demand what should be done procedurally. I don't know if that is how they operate in the association, because I know that in any association with their constitution, their disciplinary measures and all that, someone has to make a case.
I think
for
she
that.
being a member of the association,
Yes.
She should know. That
That's what I said. I don't know how they operate.
She should know that it's
Yes.
allowed. That's why she did it.
Okay, if you are explaining what she said, that's fine. You are good at doing that anyway.
I am good at
You are good at explaining people's
I am
thoughts,
good at
even when they
understanding.
themselves cannot explain
No, because
it.
you see,
It's fine.
you are saying that you
Annie,
are not.
thank you for the
no, I'm not
explanation.
going
Let
to
me
let
continue.
this go. You are saying that you're not a member of the association. Now, a paid-up member of the association is sitting here and demanding something. If it's not allowed, I don't think she would even go there.
So the Bar Association executives are supposed to listen to this, take the video and go and do what
How
they're
they
supposed to. Is
take
that
it-
how they
that-
work
how they
at
take
the
it-
association? Exactly.
No,
You're
how they
not a
take it
member
is
of the
also-
Bar Association. So let me ask my question and stop answering questions that are not posed to you, honey. Let me continue.
Laratu, I take exception to your choice of words to
What choice of
describing
word?
to
What's the
describing
choice of
the
words?
work I'm trying
Which
to
word
do.
that
No,
I-
I take
which
exception.
word are you
I'm
not
saying that
happy
I
with?
take exception.
Which word are you
Laratu,
not happy with?
Please don't interrupt me. I take exception to the choice of words that you are trying so hard
Which
to
choice of
put
word are you
across.
not
I don't
happy
like
with?
it.
So
No,
I can
I do not
retract.
like it. No.
Which choice of word are you
they
not
are
happy
words,
with?
and I'm not going to even pick on them. To be petty, I won't pick on them. But I'm saying that I am supposed to understand everything everybody says here.
Okay.
And by what she says,
So
that's
can you
my
listen to me so you
understanding.
understand
So
me?
if you make an allegation, I have every right to let you know that this is the point where I got her from, and there's nothing wrong
So
with
can
that.
I make my point so you can also...
You can make your point, but
Can you listen to me so you can
I want
understand
to make this
me?
point before you continue.
Okay.
I hope you're on the same page. If we are, yes, are we?
If we are not on the same
Are
page...
we on
what
the
are
same page?
If we are not on the same page, what are you going to do?
Lara, I don't think that you want to go on this tangent with me, because you know me. Don't go on this tangent, please. Are we on the same page? I am not in any way appreciating your choice of words, trying to describe me, to put me in a particular box. Are we on the same page?
We can't be on the same page because what you're saying is different from what I'm saying. So let me continue with what I'm saying.
You make a statement by saying that I am good at that. What is that supposed to mean? What's
Good
that?
at explaining people's thought. That's your job, isn't that? You bring news to people. So what she said, I didn't understand. You've explained to me.
I think my point is made clear even to viewers. So
okay, so let me also make my point clear to viewers.
Continue.
So for me, I honestly don't know why, for a nation that has procedures and for a profession that is well regulated, people of that profession think that running around on the media and shouting and attacking the Attorney General's personality when there are procedures to be doing these things. I heard General Legal Counsel, I heard Bar Association. I don't think Bar Association and General Legal Counsel. I remember when there was an issue with Honorable Dominic Kayine. The CJ petitioned the General Legal Counsel. I remember even his lawyer, said Francis Sosu, saying that it was not, he said something, he said it was not right and all that. There are procedures and they know that. They are the same people that has to go and file these things. Because all these things that they are saying, if it's not filed in court, for a judge to look at it and assess them, they will give the judgment. But the fundamental thing is, Honorable Atuforsen is alleged to have caused financial loss to the states with one other who happens to be the one who was supposed to bring the ambulances. We have had 300, or a little over 300 ambulances in this country. We didn't have those issues. So bringing ambulances into this country...
When you say we didn't have those issues, how do you mean?
No, we haven't had issues with non-functional ambulances.
We've had.
They came.
We've had.
The 300 ambulances.
We've had.
Okay.
Yes.
They are not functional.
Yes. Check the ambulances that were sent in, the 200 ambulances that were sent in by this government that were supposed to distribute to constituencies. They were
309 ambulances.
Okay. They were packed at Parliament, you remember, for close to a year. When the minister was invited to the Parliament House to explain why the ambulances had been packed there for a long time, she gave similar...
Because we needed certain specific... we needed certain specific equipment in there. Like the one for I forgot, was it fetal checks and all those things?
Yes, so they're all classified as defective,
no,
right?
listen. They're not classified as defective. When you want to purchase something, you give your specs.
Yes.
You give your specs.
Yes.
Once they come in and they don't meet your specs,
yeah,
you let those things work. These ones were certified by the people who were going to use them. You remember the launch was even delayed because the head of ambulance service wrote a long letter pointing out issues, and that's his job, pointing out the issues that had to be dealt with. And all those things were
those
dealt
issues
with.
are on the screen.
Yes, those issues were dealt with. You remember, I think it was a 2-page or a 3-page letter from the head of ambulance service.
Yes.
He was engaged. That is how you go about this. He was engaged, and all those issues were dealt with. And we had a launch of the ambulances, and the constituencies are the ambulances. As for maintenance issues and those things, they come to the doorstep of us.
Over 300 ambulances that we brought in, the minister went to Parliament. Went to Parliament to say that these were the issues with ambulance and want to be fixed. And the issues were dealt with, right? Yes. In this case, there are ambulances that the vehicles came in not fitted. The equipments that are needed to fit into. Hold on, no, they have not been dealt with because we imported them. We imported them,
right? And the issue is in court.
When did the issue go to court?
The issue is in court.
When did the issue go to court?
Tell me, when did they go to court?
Why you are? I'm asking you. You are saying the issue is when did the issue go to court?
Is it not in court? Whether it went yesterday or it will go, it went 2 years ago. Isn't it in court? That's not what we are discussing. Isn't that what we are discussing?
I'm even driving at.
Okay, tell
me. When you accuse someone of causing financial loss to the state, yet we have medicals or things that have been imported to be fitted into these vehicles that were brought in supposedly to be ambulances, and they have been stuck at the ports for over how many years, and we're not clearing them. Is that not causing financial loss to the state?
It's causing financial loss.
You're asking me?
The case in court is Honorable Atoforsen has been alleged to have caused financial loss to the state with another person. They've gone in. They've pleaded not guilty. The state prosecutor, all of us, our lawyer, as a country, is the one leading prosecution.
So when Big C said that they would pay the money, why didn't we take the money?
So you think that all that we do in this country, right, there's an alleged financial loss to the state. Then the person just comes and says, oh, let me pay and let it be. Don't you think people will start also doing that because they know they will pay? So they'll go and run around with government money and come and pay back when they are caught. Let me make my point.
But at Atoisian's case, we gave room for that.
What happened at the end
We
of
gave
the
room
day?
for him to pay.
You gave room on what basis?
His inability to pay.
It wasn't his inability to pay.
It was what?
It was a plea bargain. And what does a plea bargain do? It's a level of leniency. When the state gave him time and he didn't do it, what happened?
The state,
he was incarcerated.
that is what I want you to go to.
Annie, we haven't gotten
case,
this case is
the state gave him time to pay.
This case is ongoing, right? This case is ongoing. Me, I'm not a lawyer. They sent their their evidence and everything to court. The court is dealing with it. What is the locus of the NDC jumping around the case?
What's the locus?
Yes. Okay, what is the locus of the NDC jumping around the case?
That was the government that was in power when this
That's the government that was in power.
Yes.
Right? That was the government that was in power. If you have anything, you think you're the person there, you want to support the person. His lawyer is there, right? His lawyer is there. Probably because of what he does now. He might probably have a whole team. If they really mean well from this country, right? They really want to see and they really believe that Honorable Atoforsen is not guilty. Why are they diverting attention? The issue is in court. So this, whatever the Big C rep filed, right? It couldn't have been filed without all this fanfare. And does it have to take the NDC to come and hold a press conference? And the moment they did that, the government came on the wings of the NPP. Definitely.
They brought in a partisan political angle
to it. Why? This is the state against an individual and one other, alleged to have caused financial loss. Not see this, Oani. 2.7 million euros. Let's even use the exchange rate. That is a lot of money. He says he's not guilty. He's being given his day in court.
But to be fair,
why do this?
But to be fair,
if you really mean well
but Larry,
for the
to be fair, you cannot completely.
She should speak to the tape.
Sorry, you cannot
speak to the tape.
I will speak to
by your
the tape.
attempt.
Hold on.
Speak
Today, I'll speak to the tape.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Because
You
that
cannot-
tape
I'm
is
not-
doctored.
Okay, the
You
point-
come out and say there's a
Speak to the
26-minute tape. And you come and play 26.
Speak to the tape.
Come and play
Is
60
that
minutes.
not his
Why should I
voice?
speak to the tape?
Is that not
Why
the
should I
voice
speak
of
to
the
tape?
Minister
How
of
does
Justice,
the
Dame?
tape come into the issue
Speak
at
to
hand?
the tape and the conflicts of
Speak to
interest.
the-
Speak to the
causing
tape
financial
and the
loss to the state.
Have you
misconduct.
listened to the tape?
Come
Speak
again.
to the tape
I've
and the
listened to
witness
snipers,
tampering.
okay, but when you look
Speak
at it,
to the tape.
it has breaks and all that. They started by saying they had what, some 26 minutes.
Yes.
Okay, then they came to play how many minutes?
Yes.
You know, and funny enough, they have a whole
So let's assume that
chairman
they play.
thinking that people are not smart enough in this country doing the commentary.
Hold on.
If they really
So let's
meant to,
assume-
they should have allowed them.
Let's
to
assume
play
that they played
for-
16 minutes
Yes.
of the tape, right?
Yes, honey.
Is there anything on the tape that you heard that
Honey,
disturbed you a bit?
For me, honestly, if we are going to go, you know how these things happen, and you know the season we are in, and you know the modus operandi of our compatriots in the NDC. Always trying to divert attention for the main issue.
Not necessarily.
Right.
This tape,
Always trying to drive the attention of the nation.
No, if you look at, you're not even a lawyer. I am not a lawyer. But if you look at what the lawyers have educated us on in terms of a prosecution.
The lawyers, me, have sat with all due respect, having educated me on anything. Today, Nanoye is saying that the Ghana Bar Association...
Hold on. The lawyers you sat with did not educate you on conduct of a lawyer.
They haven't educated me on anything because their conduct itself is questionable. Then today, Nanoye is talking about Ghana Bar Association. She's a paid member. I sat with another of their lawyers on TV3 on Thursday. She said, Ghana Bar Association has no locus when it comes to disciplining lawyers. So the lawyers I have sat on air with haven't educated me on anything.
No, I'm talking about...
With all due respect to them, they haven't educated me on anything. But I think that let's look at the crux of the issue. 2.7 million euros.
No. You cannot.
And people think that
hold on. You cannot go there. You can't go there because that borders on the substantive of the matter in court.
I said that's the allegation.
No, so let's know our limitations. I beg you.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's an allegation. So let's leave it there. And we're saying that. Hold on. Just for the purpose of the platform. Hold on.
Is that wrong?
I'll let you speak. I'm saying that for the purpose of the platform that we're on, let's be careful, getting into the crux of the matter.
I haven't gotten into it.
The main allegations on the ambulances, the cost and everything,
exactly.
that has to do with the allegation of causing financial loss.
Yes.
But the issue that has arisen from this, obviously, is the tape, which is not been heard in court yet. Hold on.
Is it in, now that it's
Hold
not
on, it's not been heard. Has filed. Yes, it's not in court yet. That's why we are free to play around it. But the moment it's raised in court, I'm sure we will still be limited at some point.
If I heard clearly, the judge in charge of the case made a statement to the effect that they can say all that they want to say.
Yes.
At the end of the day, it's the judge that will determine.
Right.
So why are we running around this issue? Why do we want to bring a partisan angle to something in the interest of the state? Do they really mean well for the state? That's the question we should be asking them.
So what did the NPP come in to do?
Why would the NPP come in?
Why would they come in?
Because the NPP is on the shoulders of the NPP that this government is in power. Right. It's the NPP government. The states, the government is functioning as states. Right. The Attorney General, apart from being the Attorney General and the state's lawyer, is the Minister of Justice. The moment you wait, all these years that this case has been in court, have you heard the New Patriotic Party say anything about this case?
Yeah.
No, until the NDC decided to
hold the
press conference.
Okay.
Against the person of the...
Right.
Really, their procedures, if really they mean well, I think there are better ways, there are procedures, and they as lawyers know better.
Okay.
So there are procedures to call for an investigation into these things and try and stop diverting the state's attention to the 2.7 million euro alleged to have been caused the state.
So Musa Abatwa says that, Annie, Dr. Baumia's recent statement about restoring toll boats is baffling and unjustifiable. It raises serious questions about the transparency and accountability, especially since he was part of the cabinet that initially decided to cancel the toll boats. So this sudden U-turn undermines public trust and suggests a lack of coherent policy direction. So the citizens deserve consistent and well-justified decisions, not contradictory moves by the same that seem politically motivated. Helga says that let's not go far. 6 months to go, and La General Hospital is still swimming in a hole. You say, Annie, hi. This present EC is very. I don't read that. How can we trust the transfer of votes to only EC? Okay, I've not touched on that matter, but I don't know if I will even have time to do that yet. Kofi Capital, good morning to you. Thanks for doing the watching. I can't read what you said, but thanks. From Evans Dinko, Gary says, Adani, good morning. Are you watching Lara too? Oh, I'm with her. She's busily picking piece and piece of text messages from her superior to try and defend. How did you even know? Defend the misconduct of Godfrey Daphne. It's not easy to defend the MPP at this moment. You say, Laura, you go explain, Taya. You say, Prosper, good morning to you. Okay, I've seen your message. Ambassador Sampiale says that if an Attorney General, AG, tells an accused person to falsify a medical report to deceive the court, it could be constitute several crimes, including obstruction of justice, interfering with the administration of justice by attempting to mislead the court, perjury, encouraging the accused person to commit perjury by providing false information under oath, suborn perjury, and that's encouraging or helping someone to commit perjury, and this is the legal term that Martin Pebu has been using. He thinks that it's a suborn action taken by their AG in that discussion with Richard Jakpa, and the fabrication of evidence, creating an altering evidence in this case, a medical report to mislead the court, attempting to defraud the court, attempting to deceive the court, achieve desired outcome, abuse of power, misusing the AG's position and authority to manipulate the legal process, conspiracy. Hey, that's a lot. Conspiracy, collaborating with accused person to commit these crimes. So please note that these are serious allegations and specific charges will depend on the specific circumstances and jurisdiction. So in the meantime, the ambulance case have become monuments of waste and neglect over the past 8 years. And we have ordered vaccines and we still have not received it. To be honest, last week I was thinking about this Sputnik V scandal. And I was wondering, was the Attorney General in this country during the Sputnik V scandal? Sputnik V. Sputnik.
Oh, is there a T somewhere?
Yes.
Yes, Sputnik.
S-P-U-T.
There's a T.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I'm wondering, because that man, has he paid the money?
Not that I know.
Okay. So, Annie, good morning. Ladies on Z, you're looking super. Thank you. I had initially believed followers of the Islamic faith and automatically stood by truth. I have been disillusioned for so long. This morning has woken me up. Thank you, Allah, for waking me up.
I think that text is an unfortunate text to use. Nobody has the right to play God, whatever your intentions are and whatever you choose to say. So when you read some of these text messages bordering on faith, let's be careful.
Let's be careful.
Nobody, apart from God, has the right to judge someone.
He said the religion stood for peace. Truth.
Stood for what? And what
truth,
makes,
doesn't it?
What makes him send that
He's
text?
been disillusioned.
I think we need to be careful about some of these religious overrides.
We should also respect people's views.
I mean,
I think we should also.
Are we being too extreme?
This is not the first time
We should also
text
be
messages
tolerant.
are coming in.
Yes.
This is not the first time I've gotten. Sometimes if I show you,
It's the same
some
thing
of the
that
text
sometimes
messages,
comes against Christian religions.
No, it's not.
And
That's
I
what
don't
I'm
think
saying.
it's,
That's why I didn't use a faith.
Okay.
I said religious
Annie, good morning.
text messages. They're unnecessary.
Annie,
They're unnecessary.
good morning. The true state of the nation 2025 been known by Ghanaians. So NPP should start writing their handover notes. Okay. Thank you all, Haruna from Ashaiman. Mansa Musa says that actually, Nana B has sent me a message. And his message, Nana B, do you really want me to read this message on air? Okay. Let's just keep that respect. I'm not going to read it.
I wish you could apply the same discretion when you're reading messages.
Read it.
Or you're being just a
No.
personal
I
message.
actually, it caught my attention because of the name. You know, these messages come in, I haven't saved their name, so I don't know them.
Is a personal
But
message?
Is it,
Is that a personal message?
What do
And
you
who
mean
is this
personal
Nana
message?
B?
Which Nana B again do you know?
Oh, you never know. You don't know you just said you don't know
Your
this
party
name.
organizer.
Oh, okay.
Your national organizer. Huh? Oh, you have a problem with that?
No, I don't have a
Okay.
problem with that.
Okay.
No, you're reading messages.
And
don't hear
I
you
promise you, I
using
cannot
that
read what he
discretion for
sent
any
to me.
Messages.
I cannot read it, so
So why mention it, Annie?
I'm just letting him know that I've seen his message.
You've done this to me before.
But I have to just
You keep doing
acknowledge
this. You keep
receipts.
doing this. If you are not going to read the message, I don't think you should just say someone has sent you a message.
Lara,
You don't
you
do
will
that
not,
for all
you will
these
not, you will
messages.
not tell me how to manage my
No, I'm
messages.
not telling you how to manage you. I'm just telling you that.
I'm just letting him know.
Okay.
Okay.
You've done that to me.
Our time is actually up. I have to go for a break, but quickly, one minute each.
I just wanted to mention
I was
further
just telling
about
you that
the Attorney
EC
General.
says we shouldn't allow you to
Oh,
go into.
we have issued, the NDC has issued a press release. I'm using your platform to call on all agents, NDC agents, march, don't walk, march to the stations, to the Electoral Commission offices, and do your job, your civic job of monitoring the EC activities from today until the end. What the EC is saying is unlawful. We as NDC will not allow any gerrymandering, and we want free, fair elections on 7th of December 2024, and you are performing a civic duty.
Okay.
You will be protected by the police who maintain law and order in Ghana.
Okay.
So all NDC officers, all NDC agents, you are tasked to disregard the order of the Deputy Director of Elections of the Electoral Commission, march and go and perform your duties at all the District Electoral Commission offices.
So just in case you're wondering, the statement says that agents of political parties should not be allowed to observe the transfer of votes exercise. Lara, too. Okay, it's on your screen, so you can read along.
I think that the EC didn't just come out with this statement out of the blue. But I also don't think that this is something that's... we don't have enough details as to why they are writing this. I'm sure this is something that they should confer with political parties.
So it says that the Commission's attention has been drawn to violent clashes occurring at some parts of the district offices as a result of the transfer of votes exercise.
Yes, but that's a bit too harsh to say that people part of the process should not go there. And I mean, if I also decide to sit here and say MPP agents should march, I mean, it's a democracy. I think we need to be measured in some of these things. If NDC is sitting here, and I just thought that when Nanoye was saying that you could have called their attention to it. I mean, it's not right.
Yeah.
The EC has made a statement. We still don't have full details of it. You are calling your party to march. Have they always been marching to it? This is what brings chaos and unnecessary distractions to our election processes, and I think it must be condemned.
Okay.
The EC has made a statement. Let's think through and know what the details is, but I don't think this is a fair statement for the EC to bring up. We are part of the process, and all those things must be done diligently. If someone is misconducting themselves at a center, the police are there, the other security agencies are there, and that is what we should be calling for. But to sit on live TV and call people to march, I think it's condemnable and shouldn't be encouraged.
The NDC will safeguard the sanctity of the
Boots,
2024 December elections.
It's condemnable.
We assure all Ghanaians of that. We are committed to free and fair elections in Ghana.
Please, Annie, don't allow your,
why
your platform to be used for such
I'm smiling.
bootish thing. We are going to go. Why? Is it a war?
So I think my case with Lara too is like the AG and Richard Japa.
Shame on you.
It's just AG and Richard Japa. It's a give and take affair. But Larati, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having
Lawyer.
Oh, we didn't do good governance.
Yes, I mean, I don't have a lot of time, but...
governance of MPP is nothing to write home about.
I'm sorry.
You have a lot of time. It was ranking of an economic agency that Ghana is not doing well. We'd have had time. Ghana has been ranked as the
Nanabi, are you watching her?
Governance, well-governed country.
Okay,
you don't have the time to discuss
I hope you're watching her.
You don't have the time to discuss positive things about Ghana.
It is not positive at all.
Let them say we're worse, part of the worst 5. You would have been trumpeting it.
That ranking is not positive at all.
We are fifth.
It's unfortunate we didn't go.
Best governed
it is
country.
not positive. Let's look at other global rankings. There are several
I'll go for
other
a breather.
global rankings.
I'll be back shortly. All right, you're welcome back to the program. It's Good Morning Ghana, and it's time for us to go into the trends. Harry is with me. Good morning to you. You're welcome.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me. Let's just go straight to comments coming in as the show was going on. Anytime Lorati is here, it's always fun. When there's change of government, prosecute them and stop the lies and propaganda in the atmosphere. It is possible. Abija Abdul Latif. Okay. Okay, Laura too. I am not a lawyer, but I know lawyer Pedu. How can you say you don't know answer because you are not a lawyer? Joyce Ochina is asking Laura too. So everyone who sees anything wrong with the NPP or what they are doing at NDC, what kind of foolish argument is this? Laura too. Okay, so someone is asking. Okay, Laura too has the
that was a little harsh.
a little bit harsh. I was rushing, so I couldn't censor some of the comments. So Loratu has acquired the NPP line DNA syndrome, but do Kwame.
Did they only see Loratu on the screen?
I'm like, whenever Loratu is here, that's it. NDC people are not Ghanaians. Such useless comment shows the level of your reasoning. Loratu, okay, I won't read that one. Where there's a change of government, rescue, okay. So these are some of the comments. But away from that, entertainment is trending because, you know, yes, Saturday was TGMA, and Afronita is also trending as well. So let's take a look at some of the comments that came on TGMA. So on behalf of Legacy Life Entertainment and Kim Promise, we'd like to say a big thank you to our fans, TGMA, and everyone who's been with us since this ride. We appreciate their support. Thank you, Ghana. Let's go. So that's from Killbeats. Kim Promise didn't win Artist of the Year. Stoneboy won, but I know Kim Promise is pained. Just want to let him know he wouldn't give up. Him time will come, okay. Thank you, Ghana. The best reggae dancehall song award goes to Antia Maneneba Kofi Kinata. Okay, so from BIM Natives Ghana, Manoji by Stoneboy featuring legendary Angelique Kidjo won 3 awards at the 25th TGMA. Okay. And I think last one. The music, this one has been causing a lot of... The music industry know be how the fans, they see them. It's a bloody game now. People will do anything, pull any string for validation. Ayatan. Kwame Eugene is saying so. He needs to come out and tell us what he means by that. But
Kwame Eugene wrote that.
Yeah, he wrote that. And you know Dope Nation, right? These twins, they were part of Lynx Entertainment, and they replied that comment and said, look at the kettle calling the pot black.
I see.
A lot of things will be happening this week. So lastly, you know Afronita
Yes.
and Abigail, they came third at the Britain's Got Talent. I think this is the first Ghanaian to have gone far and, I mean, gotten something out of it. My girl Abigail, that is coming from Samjata, George. My girl Abigail and her partner Afronita have shut down Britain's Got Talent tonight. We have won the hearts and minds of the entire world. This is Ningo Pram Pram to the entire Riase. We started from talented kids. We have conquered BGT. Watch out for our next international stage.
So
Samjata
this message, I dedicate this message to Kim Promise. He has won the hearts of many in Ghana and internationally. So he shouldn't worry at all.
Next year.
I'm not sure what went into the decision of giving it to Stonebwoy. I mean, Stonebwoy is also a big man in the industry. But that message, I like it.
Yeah.
Kim Promise should take that. I dedicate a message to him.
Yeah.
I mean, we all saw what he did.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I'm sure I didn't like his performance.
Yeah.
I mean, the opening, actually. It was, I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah.
What went into his training. But we know that he has given us a hit that is still reigning till now.
Still,
Right, so.
And his latest one, Paris, is also, I think it's going to be even bigger than Terminator.
Well.
Agamata for my hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
So
I mean, is that not what the dancers are also using all over the place?
Yeah.
Kim Promise, don't worry.
Yeah, so big ups to Afronita. We'll be bringing more of that on Newsbeat Entertainment. Yes, the final performance of Abigail and Afronita at Britain's Got Talent, full of the African goodness and Ghanaian originality. We'll be bringing you videos of that on Newsbeat. But Annie, that's it for trends. Yeah.
So let me just wrap up with Mansa Musa. He says, our medical practice where I live in the UK, health treatments are given to patients who need them most, irrespective of age, gender, creed, or rich, poor. The basic or general health practice policy, whoever says priority should be given to based on the criteria, except for medical needs, does not appreciate good health system. Thanks and good morning to you. And then the locus of the NDC in the ambulance case is that they feel their leader is in parliament, is being persecuted. Mansa Musa, I've read your message. Thank you for sending that in. All right, so this is what time will allow us. Let's draw the curtain here on Good Morning Ghana. Thanks for watching. And Harry, thank you for coming through.